सब कह रहे हैं आदि योगी, योग के इस स्पर्श से अब योग में करना है तन मन। सांस शाश्वत सनन सननन, प्राण गुंजन धनन गणनन, उतरे मुझ में आदि योगी, योग धारा छलक छन छन। सांस शाश्वत सनन सननन, प्राण गुंजन धनन गणनन, उतरे मुझ में आदि योगी।
Dr. Adarsh is here, and thank you so much, Dr. Adarsh, for joining us today. And thank you everyone who's also joining us to this session. I'll quickly introduce Dr. Adarsh. So Dr. Adarsh, by profession, he's a child specialist, a pediatrician, yeah. And other than that, his professional journey, he is on a transformation to attaining yoga. That is what I would say. He has founded the Adi Yoga Club in Jodhpur, which is his initiative towards introducing yoga, which we call as yoga. And I'm sure he is going to explain what is the difference between yoga and yoga. What is his thought process about this entire transformation that he has taken, as well as what is it that he wants to achieve from this yoga club that he has started. Thank you so much, Dr. Adarsh, again. It would be amazing if you could share the most honest experience that you have, and whatever it took you to actually take this step and be where you are.
Hi, Anupama.
Hi,
Good
doctor.
evening. Yeah.
Hi,
Thank
Adarsh.
you for inviting me. Yeah. Hi, Kirti. It's a topic that is close to my heart. So anyone can come and talk to me on this, and I'm ready
Great.
anytime.
Yeah.
Great.
Please share about your Adi Yoga Yoga Club first of all. Those who don't know, they'll come to know about your club.
Yeah, it's just a thought came to me that most of the people don't know about what is yoga. First of all, what is yoga, and then what is traditional yoga. There are so many yoga classes going on all over the world, but most of them are focused only on the physical aspect rather than the holistic approach. They are just focused on the physical aspect, and they are just like weight losing classes. And I had joined some of them, and I found that they were not doing properly asanas or traditional asanas. They were doing all sort of exercising like squats, jumping jacks, everything, push-ups, everything. And then they say they're the yoga classes, and I never achieved peace there. So I was never satisfied. So I didn't continue. So I started to practice at my home. I was just reading the books. I have been reading these books for last 5 to 6 years. I had an interest in yoga, so I kept on reading. And I would not lie, if I was also more towards physical aspect up till 6 months back. But uh, when the lockdown came and I got an opportunity, I got the time, and I started doing asanas properly and regularly. And within a short time, I felt the change, what I was looking for. And it was magical. It was definitely magical. And then I continued and I continued my practice, and everything was changing. So then I thought, and when I was able to do session on my own, then I thought, now it's the time I should take the initiative. And but it should not be in the form of class. And second thing, I hate commercialization. That is what corrupts everything. Whole yoga has been corrupted by the commercialization. Everybody is trying to make money out of it. So though they won't teach you the proper yoga, and they are just interested in making you lose weight or look slim. That's their motto. And I was not working for that motto. So I thought of starting a yoga club where everyone will study, teach each other, and we will do the traditional yoga, and we will study what is traditional yoga, which our yogis used to do. Okay, if nobody is interested in the higher aspect to go to the sadhana, but still they can benefit, they can improve their physical, mental, and emotional health, everything. And at least they should know. And whosoever is interested, they can move forward and go ahead. So that was the whole purpose of starting this U Club. So we don't charge anything for that. We don't take any commitments. We don't make commitments that you will lose weight or something like that. Rather, we say you should just focus on the asanas properly. And when you achieve that asanas, you have to go to the breath control. And beyond that, if you want to go, then you can go to dhyan and achieve the holistic health. And then it's up to you how far you want to go. But at least you should know what's the process, what's the right process to achieve this thing.
Doctor, I'll just interrupt. And I before we getting
Yeah,
into
sure.
that detailed form of yoga,
Yeah.
I would want you to tell our audience about the journey. So by profession, you're a doctor, and what motivated you to choose yoga? Um, and because we did speak before, and
Yeah,
coming from that perspective, I also want you to tell us about that you have explored different forms of exercise, like you've been
definitely.
a person
Definitely.
who
Yeah.
is a regular gymmer, plus you've been I think you've been in martial arts as well. So
Yeah.
please share your experience about one, what it took you to, from being a doctor to actually choosing yoga, and why yoga. So that is where I would want you to start. So
Okay.
you know
Let's start. Yeah, let's
yeah,
start from start from the beginning.
yes, please.
So actually, from the beginning, I was interested in sports. Per se, I was interested in sports. So after my college, graduation, post graduation, everything, so I started practice, and now I hadn't had time to devote to sports. So I just wanted to maintain my fitness. The only goal was to maintain the fitness. So on the one side, I was doing practice, and on the other side, I was trying different options like gym, sometimes martial arts. I had a um, interest in martial arts, so I was doing martial arts intermittently but not regularly. And yoga I started 5 years back, almost 5 6 years back. Till then, I was doing either gym or martial arts, sometimes running and things like that. Gradually over the time, my practice built up. So because I post graduated in 2008, so over the time, my practice built up, and I was handling in unital ICU, intensive care unit, and I was in charge. And with time, the burden was increasing, the outdoor was increasing, there were more of delivery calls and everything. So I was on toes 24 hours a day, and I got a good name actually in Jodhpur in unital intensive care because very few were doing at that time. So I was earning a lot, and I was doing good, but there was an emptiness. I was not feeling good. There was an emptiness. I always felt that something is missing, and I don't want this, and I don't know what I'm missing. So almost 1 or 1.5 year back, I consulted a psychologist so that I can understand what's wrong with me. I have everything, but still I am feeling empty, and I'm not having a feeling of happiness. Something is bothering me, and I don't know what. So I had some sessions, and after studying me, she told me to switch on my job. She just said you can do it gradually or immediately as you decide. So you want to take full control of your life so that you can balance your life. You need a balance. What I was doing, I was enrolled in my practice almost 24 hours because the call may come anytime. Anytime I had to run to ICU, then outdoor timings were there. So I was very busy. So all the other things were taking the back seat. So maybe that was the problem I was having in the back of my mind. that I'm not being able to do other things that I want to do. So she said me to just switch on and take something to balance my life. So in last February, I quit my job and I started my own consultation clinic. So it had fixed timings, no emergencies, no emergency calls, and I would get extra time to do some things which I would like to do, which I had been interested in. So that time I started this thing, and on 20th March there was lockdown. Just 1 month after I started my clinic, there was lockdown. So rather than being depressed, I was happy that now I will get full time to devote to my interest. So on the first day, I started with Surya Namaskar, and I did 108 Surya Namaskar on the first day. And by fifth day, I reached 130 Surya Namaskar. So I was tired, I was exhausted, but still I feel that something was missing, and why don't try asana also? So at that time, I properly started doing asana. So I started doing asanas. So when I started doing asanas, I felt after a month that the things were different. We always talk about calories or cardio to lose weight. Initially, I also started this to I wanted to lose weight, but when I started and when I did asanas and I focused that, I found out that the things were changing. I was not losing weight, but I was feeling was having more control on myself, better physical, better mental, as well as emotional. So things were changing and I felt them. So then I continued the journey. And when I got regular, so I experienced other things also. So I started reading again, which I have been reading already, although I started reading again. And by God's grace, I got enough time during this. So after this all time, then I got the idea that I should start something. So I have tried different things like gym. Yeah, they would say that you will build body, you would burn fat, you have to do cardio one day, you have to do strength exercise, weight training, but they are just focused on the physical aspect. Nobody will talk about the mental aspect or the emotional aspect or the hormonal balance which we need, which can lead to all the other problems. So nobody was thinking about that. So I felt that this thing is missing in the gym or strength training or aerobics. Martial arts, definitely. Martial arts, definitely. I have been interested in, and then came a time when I had to choose between martial arts and yoga because I had done both of them. And after my experience, I understood that these are two different paths leading to the same destination. Both the traditional martial arts and traditional yoga, they focus on strength building, flexibility, improving your flexibility, breath control, and by slowing down your breath or you're harmonizing your movements with your breath, you take control of your mind and you still your mind. And when you still your mind, you control your thoughts and you control your subtle body. What we look at is the gross body, and there is a subtle body inside us, which we can control only we can practice these things regularly. So not only physically, we have to control our breath, we have to control our emotions, thoughts, mind, and then we will be able to control the subtle body which resides inside us.
So what do you
So both
mean?
are doing the same.
So what do you
Yeah.
mean when you say um, what is the difference basically between yoga and yoga? Because all this while we have been saying yoga, and after conversing with you, I realized that it is not yoga and it is yoga. So can you
Yeah. Yeah,
explain
sure.
the
Yeah, sure.
difference?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Uh, what does word yog means to us? Being a Hindi person or Indian, what does yog mean? We have read what is yog, literal meaning of yog. सबसे पहले हमने कब सुना योग? जोड़ गुना बाकी योग. योग मतलब यूनियन, जोड़ना, चीजों को जोड़ना. The yog is uniting things. So what do we unite here in yog? We unite our body, physical body, with our breath, with our mind, and with our inner soul. So that is the union we are craving for. This is a whole unit. This is not a separate unit. We can't separate one hand from another and head from toe. This is a whole unit, and this whole body, physical body, is then connected to the breath, energy, pran. That is connected to the pran, and that controls the mind, thoughts, and emotions. We can't see thoughts or emotions as such. If we dissect our body, we can't see thoughts or emotions, but they are in there. So that is also a part. So we have to unite all these things that form the subtle body or the whole body. So uniting, union. So that is the union. Or the first person who knew this science was none other than Lord Shiv. He was the first yogi. So he was able to unite everything. And here what I mean to say when I correlated, he is also called Ardhanarishwar. So what is Ardhanarishwar? That he has united the masculine as well as feminine characteristics. He has balanced both of them. So he can be a dancer as well, and he can be a fierce warrior as well. So he had both the characteristics which he had balanced, and every person has that capability, regardless of sex, either male or female. We have both the characteristics in us. So we have to balance them. We have to work to achieve them. Like female are more empathetic, emotionally stronger, and flexible, while males in general are aggressive, fierce, physically at times stronger, but stiff, can be broken down easily, and can't handle emotions that well. So we have to achieve both things, the feminine characteristics as well as masculine characteristics. So that balance is yoga. That union is yoga. That union of body, mind, and thoughts, emotions, breath, that is yoga. So this is yoga. Yoga means joining the things, joining these all things. And there are 8 limbs of yoga. Ashtang Yoga Paddhati, that there are 8 limbs of yoga. Means there are 8 processes which we have to go through to achieve this. So that is yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dhyan, dharana, and the final is samadhi. So then we will unite with ourselves with the supreme consciousness. That is also yoga. So this is Ashtang Yoga. And if we want to have other ways, yeah, there are other ways like Bhakti Yoga, Gyan Yoga, Karma Yoga, जो गीता में described in सारे. So you can achieve all this only by bhakti or by karma yoga or by jnana yoga, by knowledge. But
Okay.
this is yoga. So
Okay.
asana is just one of the part of yoga. Asana is just one aspect out of 8 aspects. Asana is one aspect. So that was called yogasan. Hindi में हम उनको कहते हैं yogasan. Then what happened that everybody was interested in the physical aspect, and they saw that there is a um, money making unit in air. And what they did,
Patient.
they shortened it out and they just cut out the asan, and from yogasan they made it yoga.
Yeah.
Yogasan came the yoga. Asan ko piche se hata diya and they came the yoga. Ab if I want to think the literal meaning of yoga, what does it mean? Literally, it doesn't mean anything. There
Okay.
is no meaning for a word yoga. Still, if you talk about a word yoga, what comes to your mind? Just the asanas. You don't think about the other aspects of yoga, which you need to unite all the things. So here what they did, they took out just the physical aspect, which was money making, and other aspects were forgotten.
So no one is actually taking efforts to get into that level of taking care of the mental side of the mental health and the
Yeah,
part of
definitely.
yoga. It is only the
Yeah,
physical part which people are and the whole world is running around, and that is why it is called as yoga.
yeah. That's actually they have been taught about. They don't know
Yeah.
that there are other aspects.
Yeah.
They are just affected by body shaming, that you are thin or you are fat, you should lose weight, you should do some exercise.
Hmm.
And then every 1st January they start doing some exercise. So they would go for gym or aerobics, and some would go for yoga
Yeah.
to do some exercise. So the only aspect they are looking for is the physical health. but it can't be achieved just by doing one thing, that is asana.
So
You
how
have to
did
control.
you learn about this part of yoga?
It was, yeah, it was bit of my interest.
And if we
And
want to learn, how do you think we should, like, what should be the way to, if anyone wants to get into that level? Because I think after Corona,
yeah,
lives have changed for humans. Okay, the way of
yeah, definitely,
thinking
definitely, it
and
was
everything
like
has changed.
rebooting yourself.
Yeah, and so if we want to get into this form of, and we want to gain this knowledge, so what would be your advice? How do you think a person should start and get through it? Because all over as it is just the physical yoga, जहाँ जाओ
Yeah.
वहाँ पे सब फिजिकली फिट होने की बात करते हैं, मेंटली फिट होने की तो कोई बात ही नहीं करता है. तो what do you think
What
should
do
our
what do you
fit?
mean by I would interrupt you. What do you mean by word fit? What is fitness?
See, fitness is physically fit is something where you are active in the day. You can just
No,
like
what is
my
fitness?
definition is, if you can just do anything. You can run. You can like almost run like 2 kilometers a day, and then you have a good like, as you said, you have a good fit body, and that is what
What
I
is fit? That's what I'm asking. What do you mean by fit?
see. That's what the whole thing is in my mind. Fitness is all about having like a body, like maybe say some actress,
Deepika Padukone
Deepika
or yeah, Priyanka
Padukone, or
Chopra,
some
yeah.
celebrity.
Or I would like to
uh,
become like John Abraham or Akshay
yes,
Kumar,
yes,
like that. Yeah, that is fitness.
that is
That is
fitness.
fitness. That, yeah,
Yes,
but
yes.
that is not the fitness.
Okay.
Like, so fitness means your body is in your control. First of all, your body should be in your control. If you want to touch your nose to your knee, you should be able to do that. It should, your body should hear it. If you want to raise your leg above your head, you should be able to do that. Your body should be under your control. Second thing, you should have uh, good hormonal balance, normal hormonal balance. Okay, then your metabolic profile should be okay,
Yeah.
and your energy should be controlled. And then the thought process, the emotions, that should be under your control. Your mind should be under your control. And when you are able to achieve all these things, when you are healthy rather than being fit, healthy means there is no disease in your body, no dis-ease. Disease means no dis-ease. So there should be no disease, there should be good health, there should be good control. You should have the required strength. I don't require to pull up a truck. How many people need this? And I'm going to gym and doing the weights. That is of no use. Only the required strength, which I should have, and the flexibility, because it decreases the chances of injuries, as well as it improves my movement, daily movement. So physical health, then breath control and emotion, mind control. This is all when you achieve. This is fitness. So fitness is not just slimming yourself or toning yourself. That is only at the physical aspect you are working, at not the other aspect you are thinking of.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand. I agree.
I can't think of any gymmer. I can't think of any gymmer or a boxer who has lived beyond 100 years of life, while they have spent whole their life doing exercise, these physical exercise, but they could not achieve a long and healthy life while they were doing all the time. They were looking at the physical aspect.
Correct. Yeah. How do you think we should approach this form of fitness?
Yeah,
What would be
that
our
was,
steps?
yeah. So that was one of the reasons I started this club, because I had been looking for a person to teach me all this, and I was getting nowhere. There was no person I could found that who would teach me all this, who can guide me. So what I had to do, so I did reading. I found out that there are two authorities of yoga in India. One is Bihar School of Yoga. If you want to understand the philosophy of yoga, nobody else is better than the Bihar School of Yoga. There are numerous books. There are numerous books, and they explain it like anything. Second if you want to do asanas, there had been only one authority, that is Mr. B.K. Iyengar, the modern father of modern yoga was T. Krishnamacharya. He was the father of modern yoga, and he had two students, Mr. B.K. Iyengar and Patabi Joyce. Both achieved great name. And then B.K. Iyengar shifted to Pune, and his ashram is there. And he started teaching asanas and pranayam and everything. And he mastered it beautifully. So if anybody wants to learn asan, nobody is better than him. And if you want to understand the physiology of yoga, you should read the books of Bihar School of Yoga. Until and unless you can find a person who can make you not do anything and make you learn by teaching you all this.
So this what I take it is take this as that we should start exploring on our own
Definitely,
and start
what had
researching
been
about this
my
on our own.
experience, yeah, what had been my experience is that I read, and then I tried everything on myself. I experienced it on myself. I tried to understand the concept. What's the concept? Why I'm doing this asan? What's the meaning of this asan? Which muscles are working? How is it working? Is it working only on the muscles or somewhere else also? How many organs I have affected by this? Everything I try to connect. That that is the way that this thing works. But being a
Yeah,
doctor, yeah, definitely being a doctor helped me because I had read physiology, so I could
yeah.
understand many of these things. But yeah, many of um, them can not be able to do that. But
Okay.
if they can find a person who can teach them the right way,
Mm.
so that's why I came up that I should start a club where I can share my knowledge with the persons who are not very good at it, or who don't have time to read or have any knowledge about this. So I would just share my knowledge. What I have gained, I will share it, and without any cost. It's like a sadhana for me, or it's like a mission for me
Yeah.
to um, let people know what real or traditional yoga means, and not these yoga classes
So
like jumping and dancing.
so that makes, there's a question also in the chat box, and even I am inquisitive about it. So what
Yeah,
would be your comments about the yoga, the form of yoga which Baba Ramdev teaches us?
just marketing. But I would credit him that he reignited the interest in yoga.
Yeah.
People started doing yoga. But what is the problem is he did not teach that how to do it, not the proper way. Suddenly, everybody in the park was doing Kapalbhati, not knowing what Kapalbhati is. Everybody is doing Kapalbhati just to lose the weight. That I will blockages will be gone. My blockages will be gone. They don't understand that this is not the heart blockage which will be removed by Kapalbhati or pranayam, and this blockage is very different. First you have to study the anatomy of the yogic body, it's subtle. If you dissect the body, you won't see anything which has been explained in the yogic body. There are energy channels. There are 72,000 nadis, which are energy channels in which the prana flows. Prana is the energy. We call it pran. Chinese called it ki or chi power. So that's the same thing. They had understood this concept. They were working the same thing, but through martial arts. They were achieving it through martial arts, through kung fu or yong fu or tai chi. So they were controlling their body and pran or ki energy. So then you can control your energy, and you can move your energy anywhere in the body, and even you can transfer your energy or pran to other persons, and you can heal them. That is the main thing. So this is what. And you can't just start pranayam. If you just start pranayam and your physical body is not prepared, you are going to get damaged. You are going to damage those energy channels, pran channels, nadis, that will be damaged. You can just start pranayam. uh,
Yeah.
Even many people are interested in dhyan, meditation is also a big market nowadays. So what happened, a lot of persons who are stressed out that they start meditating are now start meditating. Their meditation classes, I don't know what they teach. You have to stand still and focus on your breath. And why do you need a teacher for that? If you have to stand still, closing your eyes and thinking or not thinking anything, why do you need a teacher for that? What he will do
But
if you have to focus?
But over here I would just say, because meditation, because that itself is like a skill. Because if you ask me, I, even if I just stand and close my eyes, there will be like some 500 thoughts, and all will be negative, nothing will be positive. I will be thinking about everything other than just being in the present. So don't you think then we need a teacher, like we need a proper guide?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I will differ. It's not a skill, it's a practice.
Okay.
You just have to practice. You have to sit still, controlling your breath, focusing on your breath, and just sit still with your eyes closed. And gradually you will feel your emotions, your thoughts are slowing down. They will slow down by itself. You don't need to do anything. They will slow down by itself. You just have to sit longer and longer and longer. So you have to prepare your body to sit that long. And the trick is you have to be in the uh, straight position. Your spine should be straight. The trick is your spine should be straight. Your head, your neck, and your spine, it should be in one straight line. And it's only be done in sitting position. So there are postures for meditation. And I would not use the word meditation, I would say dhyan, because yoga says dhyan. And so there are these postures like Vajrasan, Padmasan, Siddhasan. These are the asan in which dhyan has to be done, because what these asanas do, they stabilize you, they stabilize your energy, and with that you achieve control over your mind and thoughts. And then with over time, when you are able to sit for a longer times in these asan without being feeling discomfort, and your thoughts will be controlled, and you will gain control over your thoughts. So you just have to sit still, you have to go inside.
Okay.
And when you are hearing to the master or the teacher, you are outside, you are not inside. When you're hearing something else, so you are
Yeah.
not inside, you're already outside.
Yeah.
And dhyan means going inside,
Going in.
reading yourself. You
Okay.
have to go inside and read yourself.
Yeah, sure. Great.
So for that you have to just to be still, nothing else.
Yeah, I'll take some questions, doctor. So
Yeah, sure.
first, before questions, Dr. Kirti is there, and she wants to share her experience about pranayam and Raj Yoga. So,
Yeah, sure.
Dr. Kirti, you can, yeah, you are unmuted, so you can share. Please share.
Yeah. So I agree with the Dr. Adarsh, because when I was in I used to stay in CP, I joined a course, yoga course from
Now you should now
Murarji.
you should shift to yoga.
Yeah,
What you done, I don't know, but you should now shift to yoga.
Murarji Institute of Yoga in Connaught Place, Delhi, and they were doing a 7-day certification course for being a yoga trainer. Now I'm really wondering, we actually did 7 days. By chance, uh, I couldn't attend the last day. अगर मैंने वो last day attend किया होता तो मैं अब तक 7 दिन में एक certified yoga trainer बन चुकी होती. And in that I did everything. Like all those 8 steps that you said, I'm really wondering that how even an institute like a national institute like Morarji Desai Institute of Yoga is like attracted to this commercialization, or it was, I don't remember if it was paid or a free course, but like to attract the public, they've just made the shortcut. So, second, I would like to share my experience with the. I'm associated with Rajyog meditation since almost 15, 16 years. And a major part of my personality or my journey till date, as I will give my credit to Rajyog, because whenever, like in this practical world, whenever we get stuck with the practical problems, there is nobody to go to, then that is like my go-to place. I go there I find my answers. So I can there they tell me that there they tell everybody that Raj Yoga is like communion with God. So yog word jo,
That is yoga. That is
yeah,
yoga. Yeah.
yog,
Uniting with the supreme consciousness or
communion.
supreme power.
And the meditation practice that we learn is exactly that Adarsh said, कि meditation में sitting still is one thing, because if you keep moving your body, your attention will keep going towards your body, so your body has to be still so that your mind is not thinking about your body. Now also it requires stillness of the mind, And the main thing is, once we are able to catch the signals, the depth of our emotions, our thoughts, and also the communication with Supreme. Suppose
Definitely,
if you have
definitely,
any questions, you ask to the Supreme and he will give you answers, but you can listen to those answers only if your mind is calm. Otherwise, you cannot listen to that. And
absolutely true, absolutely.
a few years back, I did Art of Living course. There they taught the Sudarshan Kriya. Sudarshan Kriya is like they were doing all the asanas also, and then they taught the Sudarshan Kriya, which is a combination of pranayam and breathing techniques. So in that, I got that experience that you just said, that if your body is not prepared, and then if you go into your like pranayam practice, it can complicate. So what used to happen they also did the entire thing in course in 7 days. So what I saw was, even my brother has not repeated the Art of Living practice after that, because he's in fear, still the fear of that day. When you do the Sudarshan Kriya, immediately after that Sudarshan Kriya, what happens is, few people suddenly start having different kind of body postures or problems or rigidness, and uske baad se वो लोग डर गए. So I think, is it something related to that, not being prepared, the body is not prepared and you are going into the subconscious, and something happens, something like that?
And there is one question also coming from one of our audience, and that the question is, what is supreme consciousness? So if you can share or explain us this.
Yeah, here we need to be spiritual. Yeah, that is more of spiritual, because uh, during this time, during this lockdown time, beyond beside doing this thing, I also did one thing. I started reading Bhagavad Gita every day. So I would read a chapter of Bhagavad Gita every day. And here I found out that it's not just spirituality, it's a way of life. They have taught the way of life, how to live your life, what to do, what not to do, what to eat, what not to eat, and how to do, what to expect from yourself. And then they say, like in spirituality, that we all are, what are we, what is our body? We are energy. If we think, we are like energy, we are prana, which moves us, and we are just a part of that supreme energy, where we will again go when our body dies, this physical body dies, and our energy, because same thing the Einstein said, that energy can neither be destroyed nor be created. So our energy cannot be destroyed. We will just go and mix into the supreme energy, and then we will come back in some other form. So that is called rebirth. What Buddhists and Hinduism say, that there is rebirth. So energy moves from one body to another. It's like soul is like form of energy, it moves from one body to another. It just changes the physical body. But what's the supreme power? That's the from where everything is generated. So everybody goes into that and comes out of that. So that's more of a spirituality. So it's a debatable topic and very different topic to talk about. But yeah, yoga is different. And yes, I would share the same experience. um, I also, one of the my fellow colleagues, she joined me in the class, and she asked me about Kundalini Yoga, that what is Kundalini Yoga, do I have any knowledge? And I said that I have not read that there is anything different. I've studied only yoga, and that is Hatha Yoga, and I don't know any other yoga. Like in Gita, if they say, there is only three yoga, like Bhakti Yoga, Gyan Yoga, and Karma Yoga. And Ashtanga Yoga is a part of Karma Yoga to achieve the position of Raj Yoga. And Raj Yoga is union of your energy with the supreme energy. That is Raj Yoga. So other than that, all forms of yoga like power yoga, aerial yoga, Kundalini yoga, these I don't believe in. And then she shared that she started some meditation practices after somebody's initiative, and within a month or 1.5 month, she started getting nightmares, she started having panic attacks, and she had phobia every time, and she was having very bad experiences. So why was it? And then I said, the here came the difference. Like in the 5th century, the Buddhism and Jainism, they were evolving and they were spreading like anything. So they were into meditation or dhyan. They not no, they won't go much into physical aspect, and they would just start meditating or doing dhyan. And then there were sects like Vajrayan, Mahayan, and Buddhism also. Some were orthodox and some were unorthodox. So some would do physical exercise and others would do some meditation. So at that time, Indian yogis, Hindu yogis, they studied that going directly into dhyan was giving negative experiences to many, because if your body and energy is not controlled and you go into dhyan, what happens that your subconscious is unlocked, and when this subconscious is unlocked, anything can come out. It may be a beautiful experience, or it may be a very I would say scary experience, or like that. You can have phobias, you may have depression, you may have uh, imbalances, mental imbalances, anything. So then they said that first you have to prepare your body. So first you have to do Shat Karm, that is Hatha Yoga. So here they say that is Hatha Yoga. They created Hatha Yoga in 5th century. So it's preparing your body first. So first get rid of the toxins of the body. That is by Shat Karm. That is Shat Karm is 6 processes through which you throw out the toxins of your body. That is Noli, Basti, Dhoti, and Neti, Tratak, and Kapalbhati. So Kapalbhati per se is not a pranayam, it's a Shatkarm to remove the toxins from your mind. So Kapalbhati is a practice. Kapalbhati means shining your skull. That is,
This
yeah, skull cap,
forehead.
yeah.
Yeah.
Forehead, skull. Kapalbhati means Kapal is, this is Kapal.
Yeah.
Kapalbhati. So shining your skull. So doing this practice will shine your skull or get your mind free of toxins. So first you have to do Shatkarm to purify your body. Then you have to move to asanas for the physical aspect. And with that asana, you need to strengthen your body, achieve flexibility, achieve movements, and make yourself that strong that you can control your energy. You are able to handle your energy. And then the next step will be pranayam. Pranayam is a very powerful practice. You can't just do it like it, anything. So when your body is prepared, then you go into pranayam slowly, very gradually, and then you here control your energy. Pranayam is controlling your energy. It's not breathing exercise. It's not a breathing exercise. The breath is the way to control the pran, but it's not about lungs per se. It will control your mind, your thoughts, your hormones, everything, your energy, which moves in the body. So then you go into pranayam, and when you have controlled your energy, then you go into dhyan, and that will lead to the next steps, that is pratyahar, that is withdrawal from your anything sensory. What we are going through is sensory overstimulation nowadays.
Yes.
Every time we need a sensory stimulation, either we need to hear something or we need to watch something. We can't sit without that. If anybody is asked to sit alone for an hour without anything, he's like bored. He's bored. What is bored?
Yeah.
Because he needs stimulation every time. Every minute I need stimulation. So that's what happening. We are getting addicted to mobile, laptops, TV, music. Music was a therapy, but what we are doing, like, but it's senses. It is a sense. So either I need to hear something or watch something so that I can stand still. So that is overstimulation. So that is pratyahar, withdrawing yourself out from the senses. And then you go into dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. So this is the process. This is the way they taught Indian yogis. So Matsyendranath was the first one to do this, and then there's disciples like Gorakhnath and Swatmaram. These were the persons in the Nath sect in the around the Gorakhpur area. They built this thing and they carried it forward. So that was the way they taught that this is Hatha Yoga. And second thing, what is Hat? Hat means sun and moon. Her is sun and her is moon. So sun is the masculinity, the fairy power. Moon is the cooling power or the feminine power. Or like they say in Chinese, yin and yang. So you have to balance both the powers. And for controlling that, that's the way we do in pranayam. The left nostril, it is Ida Nadi, That is the cooling one,
Yeah.
which is associated with the female activities, more of creative activities. While the right one, the Pingla Nadi, the right nostril, the Pingla Nadi, it is more of masculine with fiery power. So who are depressed, they will be benefited by doing the Surya Bhedan Pranayam because it will increase the extroversion. If you just notice, it's a very simple thing I noticed. Just my position of eyes changes my thoughts. If I am looking very straight, I'm looking very straight, looking straight, and within few weeks I will be extroverted. I will start speaking and there will be a buildup of confidence. And
Okay.
persons who are looking down or not making eye contact, they will become introverted, they will go inside, they will become introverted,
So you are
so
saying
they
that,
will go inside.
so you are saying, this is really very new to me. So you are saying just if I keep looking at someone and talking,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
personality I can change from being an introvert to an extrovert.
definitely, definitely.
Wow.
And that they have known. They,
Okay.
so there are so many things like nasikagra drishti or nasikagra mudra. In
Hmm.
that, what we do, you focus both your eyes on the nose tip.
Hmm.
You just focus both your eyes on the nose tip. So that is nasikagra drishti or mudra. So that will help in focusing your thoughts on the just in the front of here they say in the middle of the eyebrows or the tip, and it will lead to
Brukuti.
introversion.
Brukuti ke
Brukuti,
yeah,
yeah,
okay.
brukuti, that's the right word, brukuti.
Yeah,
So that will make you introverted, you will go inside.
yeah.
Just by controlling
Okay.
your eyesight you will go inside.
Wow.
And if you are introverted, there is a different exercise. You just sit straight and watch at a symbol or a flame, anything in front of your eye, exactly in level of your eye, not below. It should be in front of your eye. So that is tratak. And with tratak you will become extroverted. So
That's
you
so much
can
of
be
information. That's wow. That's
that is there,
wonderful.
there in you, but we
Yeah,
have to understand this.
even
So
others have
what?
read about the theta state of mind where people are like they also say about the direction of eyes. I have correlation with state of mind in various positions.
Yeah,
So
so position of your position of our eyes, it can make changes in our character, as well as it is needed for balance. There is so much of need in balance. If you want to do asanas closing your eyes, you won't would able to do it easily. You will
yes, yes,
just imbalance.
I've experienced that imbalance.
Yeah, so eyes are not just an organ to see the things, it has
Yeah.
a lot more other than that to do. So that's the neural pathways or other pathways that do.
Okay.
One more theory I thought of, like what we experience while doing asana. While we stretch, there is a lot of pain. While
When we're
stretching,
stretching
when
the
we are not
body.
able to do, there is a lot of pain,
Yeah.
and that pain will lead to release of endorphins, which we say endorphins,
Yeah.
which we this
Yeah.
in, yeah. And it's morphine-like chemical.
Yeah.
The primary action of which is to subside the pain, because the pain has been there. To subside the pain, our body produces a morphine-like chemical, and the side benefit of endorphins is like feel good. Like when we have anybody have opium, if anybody takes opium, or no person who takes opium, he knows why he takes opium: to improve his stamina, physical strength, and a feel good factor, because it gives a feel good factor. So when we go through these asanas, there is a feel good factor. It People come out of depression, and they also gain the strength, and the pain is subsided. So gradually what happens, the pain threshold is increased. So they don't feel pain that much, they get stronger in their handling pain capacity as well. So there are so many theories here how the yoga works. So but yoga is not
Yeah.
only asan, it is yam and niyam. Yam and niyam are like uh, how to live your life. These are the principles to live your life. Then asan, pranayam, and dhyan. So these are the things to control your body, energy, and mind.
Okay.
And then if we move forward, then it is raj yoga. So
Wow.
this is yoga. This is not just physical exercise or not stretching. Just doing simple exercises like straightening your eyes, or looking at your nose tips, you can change your character.
Doctor, I will take some more questions that are coming in. So let me just take a couple of questions. In fact, there are a lot of questions.
Yes.
Okay, so there's someone who's asking us about while doing asanas. Please tell us about breathing. That should we synchronize breathing movements with asana movements? If so, while
Definitely.
taking breathing, should we make loud noises or silent breaths? I think the question is related to breathing and asanas.
Yeah. First of all, I would like to say that I would not like to be called Adarsha. My name is Adarsh.
Okay.
So why we add if we speak English, we add a,
Yeah.
and it makes it English from Hindi. So this is asan, not asanas. So this is asan.
Okay.
Asan is a Hindi word. If they don't have any word for it in English, then they should adapt it in the form as it is,
In the form of Hindi. Yes.
in the form of Hindi. What they did, they add an A and made it English. Then what they did, that the traditional name of asanas was changed, like Bhujangasan. Bhujangasan is what? Bhujang is cobra. So what
Cobra.
they did? Cobra pose. Cobra pose. So everybody's, if you go on Google and search, you will find the asanas which has been developed by the Indian yogis, and there is an English name for each one of them. And now the Indians, they remember them with their English name, not the proper traditional name.
Traditional.
And
Right.
over the years, we will think that they are the one who developed this science, and they taught us this science. So first of all, we should learn the name of these asanas.
Yeah.
What is the proper name of the asana? What I'm doing? What is that posture? What is it called? And what does it mean?
Yeah.
So, and there is a physiology behind each asana. They had not been named just like anything. There is a physiology connected with the posture or the asana, so that we have to understand. And then your question was, yeah, definitely we have to synchronize the breath. So when we uh, fold or bend down, anytime I if I bend down, at that time I had to exhale. So I had to make space. So first I should exhale while I'm bending down, and rather in forward bends. While in backward bends, I should inhale. So this is the starting phase. But when I reach into the asana, now my breath should be relaxed. Now I should have normal breathing. It should not be stressed. It should be normal breathing. And more I should focus on abdominal breathing. This is also one of the practice. If you try, if you just sit still and try to breathe with your abdomen, what most of us do and what happens in stress, that we do thoracic breathing, and thoracic breathing increases stress and tension. And what by I mean by tension is increasing the tone of muscles. So muscles are never in a relaxed position, so they are always tense. And when they are tense, they send signals to the body that something is not right. And then your blood pressure rises, and the counteractive counter stress hormones are released. So there is overactivity of cortisol and other hormones, and then it leads to imbalance. So you need to relax. To relax, it's a very simple thing. You just focus on abdominal breathing. When you release your abdomen and breathe with the abdomen, when you inhale, your abdomen should protrude, it should come out, and not your chest. And when you are able to do this, suddenly you will feel that your other muscles are also relaxed. When you relax the abdomen, every other muscle in body is relaxed, and your thoughts will slow down. And suddenly you will feel a more calm, a calmer sense of being. So, in the posture, when I say that I have mastered a posture, it means in that posture I can be still in that posture for hours without any discomfort, with normal breathing, with my normal heart rate. My heart rate should not change. My breathing should not be at distress. It should be like normal, like I'm sitting. So that is the posture I have mastered, that I am not feeling any discomfort, I am not having any pain, my heart rate is normal, and my breathing is totally normal, and it should slow down. And when I talk about breath, yeah, one more thing I would like to share. So what most of the modern exercises do, they increase your breath rate. When you exercise, they increase the breath rate. So breath rate will increase. What yogis thought, that if you have to prolong your life, you have to slow down your breath, because they say, because your life is already fixed upon your breaths, the number of breaths. So like I will have a life of 84 lakh breaths. So if I breathe slowly, I will live a long life. If I will breathe fastly, I will have a short life. So if I slow down my breath, I will have a longer life. It's not about time, it's about slowing down your breath. Because they observed, like tortoise, that's the organism that takes only 3 or 4 breaths a minute, and it is one of the longest living organism in the world.
Interesting.
So no, that was the basic thing, that was the basic thing. That's why they try to do this, to slow down your breath. When you go into the dhyan, what happens, you will feel after sitting still into dhyan, and when you're really getting into it, after 20-30 minutes, you will feel that you are barely breathing. You are barely breathing, and your breath is very subtle. You are not at all trying to breathe, and it's happening by itself, and it's very subtle. There is very little movement, and it's very slow. And what they say, that there is one word that's called kevalya. Kevalya means when you are not breathing, and yogis were able to do that. They can uh, remain alive for days without breathing, without
Yeah,
breathing at
I've seen
all.
one such
They
case
will
when,
just hold their breath.
yeah, I've seen one such
Yeah,
case when I was a kid. In
yeah,
our state, people used to come, some yogi, and they used to
definitely,
hibernate
definitely.
inside, like,
Yeah, that's the
and
thing. That's the thing I'm
many
talking
days
about.
they'll come out. Yeah, after many days they'll come out, but I still did not know how it happened. So now you told me,
So
like,
everybody was focused on proving them wrong, that
yeah,
they are doing something fishy. There is something fishy in that, and maybe some people were doing that. But yeah, true, real yogis could do that. They would go into
yeah,
a cave or something where there was no air, nothing to breathe, and they can sit still without breathing. And when there is no breath, your mind is totally still. Your thoughts depend upon your breath. If you are not breathing, your mind can't work.
Yeah.
So here the comes, yeah,
yeah.
so here I can relate it with pranayam. In pranayam, what they do, that there are 4 phases. So first is purak. Purak means inhalation. Then there is antarkumbhak. Antarkumbhak is holding your breath inside, retention of breath inside. So there, what you do, you hold your breath. You are not breathing. Then you exhale. That is rechak. And then there is bahya kumbhak, where you retain your breath again. You hold your breath with nothing in your lungs. Your lungs are empty. So you will feel that when you are in antarkumbhak or bahya kumbhak, at that time your mind is still, not while you're breathing or exhaling. But when you are not breathing, your mind is totally still. It's thoughtless. There is no thought. So ultimately, the sage Patanjali, who wrote down the Ashtanga Yoga, he said, "What is pranayam?" In a single line, he said, "Kumbhak is pranayam."
Oh,
So
I thought
that is
Rechak was
pranayam.
more important. The exhalation, prolonging the exhalation was more important. I used to think that.
That was the that is the process to prepare you for Kumbhak.
Okay,
That
great.
is the whole purpose of Rechak, is to prepare you for Kumbhak, so that you can handle the CO2 retention or the air hunger which you feel when you hold your breath. But it's a very powerful practice, and you have to go very slowly.
Yeah,
What is pranayam? What Sage Patanjali wrote down in Yoga Sutra of Patanjali, that what is pranayam? Pranayam is kumbhak.
Kumbhak. Okay.
So when you are not breathing, you are not thinking, and when you are not thinking, you have total control over your mind. Now you can let your emotions and thoughts come, or you not, if you want to.
Somebody asked that how can yoga help in mental conditions or ADHD or concentration power? Yes, definitely. As Dr. Adarsh said, I think all the 8 parts are important, and pranayam definitely helps with concentration, right?
So that's what I said. Pranayam is kumbhak.
Yeah, pranayam.
So pranayam is kumbhak. So when you achieve kumbhak, you will control your mind and your thoughts will cease. And definitely, what the persons with ADHD are having, they are having hyperactivity of thoughts running around, and they will slow down as their breath will slow down.
That will slow
They
down.
will their thoughts will slow down and their hyperactivity will slow down.
Very
So
important.
definitely, it will help in ADHD.
Very important tip. Okay, so
Yeah.
someone is asking that please share details on the program in your club. Dr. Adarsh, if anybody wants to join you, I have a query how other people can join you. You have a page on Facebook, right? Where you
Yeah, I have a page on Facebook and I have an address, and that's on Google. So you just have to search on Google Adi Yogi Yoga Club,
club.
and you will
Okay.
get the address and the number. My number is
And
there,
the number is there,
and
yeah.
yeah, as according.
That makes me also ask you, Dr. Adarsh, can you also take us live online classes or Zoom classes? Because I think we will need a lot of unlearning first. मतलब अभी तक
Yeah.
जो हम करते आए हैं वो गलत तरीका था, तो अभी एक सेशन तो चाहिए ही कि ठीक तरीका सीखे.
Or
Yeah,
you
there is so much true about asanas also. Yeah, definitely each asana you have to understand the physiology of asana, so that what you are doing and why you are doing that. You have to understand that what is
yeah.
thing.
Or maybe
Actually, what the problem is, you need to have a teacher there. I would say there you need a teacher. For asanas, you need a teacher.
okay.
Because what happens, we don't have awareness right now. What
Yeah.
asanas do, it raises our awareness. I'm not aware what my toe is doing right now, how my toe is positioned, how is my head positioned. So in asana, you have to raise your awareness. You should be aware of your body, where your body is, and you need a person to correct that. Because when you start, you don't have that awareness. So
Yeah.
you need a person looking at you from the other side, that your posture is correct or not, and what's wrong with your posture, and then he helps you to correct that posture. And gradually, as you practice, you will raise that awareness, that now you know that where your hand is, how your head is bending, where is your neck, which muscles are engaged, which are relaxed, which are tense. So that awareness we can achieve after practice, a long practice.
Okay.
Okay.
There is one more question. So the question is, in Tratak, can we focus
Yeah.
on only our hand while our hand is making a circle? Circle in the sense horizontal circle.
I have not read about that. Most of the things I've read in Tatak, they say that the safest thing to focus on is candle flame. So here also they say there are two things, that is Bahya Tratak and Antah Tratak. So first you have to focus outside, and when you're able to do that, you just close your eyes and an image will be formed in your mind, and now you're focusing on that image. So if you look at a candle flame 5 minutes without blinking, and then you close your eyes, and suddenly you will see that you are still looking at the flame, and you can still see the flame. The image is there.
Yeah.
And now you have to focus on that image till it disappears. So that is Antahtratak. And that will raise your psychic centers of the brain. So that is the safest thing they say, because many persons what they do, they can do it on different idols, like they can do it on a shivling, or they can do it on a murti of Kali or Buddha, like these. But
Yeah.
what happens, what they say, the books or text says that every image will affect your body. Like they have studied that persons focusing on image of Kali, they started getting aggressive or behaving like that.
Oh.
So there was change in their behavior. So they say that text says that it's the safest thing to start with the candle flame. Just focus on candle flame and focus on something not moving. The whole idea of yoga, I would say, the whole idea of yoga is not moving. It's not dynamic at all. That's where again I have a problem, because there are so many schools, and
Power
even
yoga. Power yoga.
no, that's one of our other. But here I differs with Bihar School of Yoga. Bihar School of Yoga is very good for understanding the physiology. But if you read their books on Asan, what they do, they prepare your body first by the dynamic exercises. But what I felt that dynamic practice is not needed. And if you read the other textbooks which are there, like of Mr. Iyengar, or the old books like Girand Samhita, Shiv Samhita, which are being as used as reference textbooks, or Hat Yog Pradipika, it is one of the reference textbook. So there is nothing dynamic, and you need not to have a warm up. Like I called um, last week, I called my Taekwondo master. He's very good at doing physical exercises. So I called him as a guest teacher, and he's also having interest in yoga. So I called him as a guest teacher. So, but what happened that he taught all the dynamic exercises. So at the end of session, then we discussed that why I need to do these dynamic things. So he did the warm up. First of all, he did the warm up. If you go to a class, they will say first we will warm up. But nowhere in the yogic test I've read that there is a warm up. You never need to warm up. You just have to do it slowly and stretch it out as your capacities, and you will never get injured. The injury is only when you do it with a jerk or you do it suddenly. That's the only way you can injure your physical body. That's the only way. And if you are doing slowly and stretching slowly, in no way you can injure your body. So you need not to warm up. Your body will get warm up with the asanas automatically. You need not to do warm up. So it's not like I'm doing gym exercises that first I should do warm up, then I should do stretching, and then I will start with the exercises, and then in the end I will do again stretching and cool down. So cool down is there, shavasana is there in this, but there is no warm up. I have not read anywhere like warm up. So there is no warm up or these things.
Okay. So, can you fast enumerate the 8 points of yoga again? Yam,
Yeah.
niyam.
According to Shesh Patanjali,
Yeah.
Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Dhyan, no, so Pratyahar, Dhyan, Dharana, and Samadhi. These are the 8 limbs of yoga. So after Samadhi, you will achieve the union with the Supreme Consciousness. So that is Raj Yoga. So this is Ashtanga Yoga leading to Raj Yoga. So that's the way. But what is Hat Yoga? Hat Yoga is a bit different. They say start with Shat Karm. Shat Karm leads to purifying your body. Then do Asan, then Pranayam. And with that, Yam and Niyam will automatically come. What they said that Yam and Niyam are difficult to do if you start with, because that will split your mind. Your personality will be splitted. So they bring them down in the lane, that you should not start with Yam and Niyam. You should start with Shat Karm and just try to be regular in practice, and everything else will fall in place. Yam and Niyam will automatically come. So that's different in Hat Yoga. So that's the only difference in Hat Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga. So the limbs are the same. The 8 parts are the same. Just their um, numbering is different. So they start with Shat Karm, and then Asan, Pranayam, Dhyan. Yam Niyam comes automatically in between, and then Pratyahar, Dhyan, Dharana, and Samadhi. So these are 8 limbs of yoga.
So someone is asking what is the rate of course? I think it is free of cost, right?
Yeah, it's free of course, no charges. You just have to be regular.
No charges.
And second thing, it's a club. It's not a class.
Club.
Yeah, the reason behind it that I don't want to be the teacher always. I will share my knowledge, and I want others to study and experience this by themselves, and then spread this thing. And they should become the teacher. They should take the lead.
Right.
They should not remain students. Like they are coming there because I am teaching, and they are hearing me out and doing the things I am making them do. That will not lead to anything. The whole concept behind this idea is to spread the knowledge about the true yogic science. What is yogic science? And to spread this, and to spread this, we need many teachers. So everybody is there is a teacher. I can't do many asanas which my students can do because they have a more flexible body than me in many asanas. So I ask them how they do it. So they are my teacher. So there is no teacher-student relationship. It's a friendly environment. We do it just together, and whosoever knows anything, they contribute. So that's a club. Anybody can come, and it's a non-chargeable club.
Okay, so Adarsh, I'm getting very few queries from Bangalore. Mr. Vivek Murthy is like really interested in joining you. If he was in Jodhpur, he would have like really come to you straight away. So
Yeah,
he's
really, I got a call last week from Karnataka.
yeah.
That is, I don't know which place he said,
So
but
why
it was
not
from Karnataka.
take a live session in Bangalore? We will join you. Me and Anupama will come with you to Bangalore. Let's in future someday it is possible. You can take one. Let us plan a trip like that. Some live sessions, maybe some few important asanas.
Uh, what just Kirti said, few important asanas.
Okay, all are
And
important.
yeah, the body is connected from head to toe. It's a single unit.
Yeah.
You can't focus it on one organ or on one muscle. You can't strengthen only one muscle. You have to work as a whole unit on your body. So each and every asana is important, and one asana leads to another asana by itself.
Wow.
So nothing is less important.
So take class. We will come.
In fact, he's saying to share a basic document on yoga.
Rather, I would say just I said, Bihar School of Yoga has published many books. Even I have read only 3 or 4 till now, and there are 30s or 50s of them. Just go through these books, read them
Yeah.
regularly,
Yeah.
and you will get all the knowledge. It's all there. It's all there. I've done nothing. I'm just reading those books and experimenting them on my body, and I'm feeling the change, and I'm just trying to understand the physiology. That's what I'm doing. But everything I said is written in those books. It's everything there written. So
Okay.
you just need to read. Just
Any
bring
book,
some books.
any book on asana? You said Bihar School is for good for physiology, and
Yeah,
Dr. B.K.S. Iyengar book for
yeah.
asana.
So
So
there is a book called Light on Yoga.
light on you.
That yeah, BKS Iyengar's book. And for females, there is a book called Yoga, a Gem for Women. That's been written by his daughter, uh, Geeta Iyengar. So these are two books which are very too good to start with to do the asana. And if you want to understand the yogic physiology, then you should go for Hatha Yoga Pradipika. Hatha Yoga Pradipika is one of the best books, but it's a too deep a book. And if you want to go that deep, it can be scary.
Oh my God.
Like if you have heard of Khechri Mudra, they have described Khechri Mudra. If anybody knows about this, so Khechri Mudra is rolling back your tongue uh, and covering the nasopharynx while where the nostrils open in the pharynx. So you have to close them, and for that you need to lengthen your tongue. So what they used to do, they slit out the frenulum with a blade, and then they stretch their tongue until it gets lengthened enough to go that far and cover their nostrils. Not nostrils, the nostrils opening the nasopharynx. So, sir, there are practices described like that, but they are very scary. But yeah, to understand the physiology, it's a very good book. You will understand what is the physiology, the whole history, what's yoga, why was it developed, what was the purpose, and how does it act on our body, mind, everything.
So maybe we can also start like a online club. Now, since you have a physical club, we can also start an online club where we can just
Definitely,
share
that will be
books.
great idea. Great idea.
If people are reading books, I have read a book, you have read another book, there is no point you reading the same book. I can just share my teachings from that same book, or maybe 10 top pointers of that book, and that will help to help in expanding the knowledge and helping each other. So maybe we can do that. And I've also mentioned the names of the books which you've said, but it would be great if you can just write the name of those books in the Cleft WhatsApp group, So that will help
I've sent the pics to Kirti.
you.
थैंक यू आदर्श, आई एम रियली गुड। था कि मैंने इतना प्राणायाम और योगा और इतने क्लासेस किए और मैं तो ऑलमोस्ट सर्टिफाइड ट्रेनर थी, तो मुझे लगता था आई नो इट ऑल, बट सीरियसली इट्स लाइक एन आई ओपनर फॉर मी। सो थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you so much, Dr. Adarsh.
My pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Your information
That's the
was
whole.
very helpful, very very helpful. मुझे नहीं लगता कि कोई भी ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म अभी तक I have come across which has actually informed about yoga in such depth, and yeah, with so much gratitude. Thank you so much for sharing this, and I'm sure
it was
a lot of people
my pleasure.
are going to message you in person कि ये सही कर रहे हैं या गलत कर रहे हैं, ये पोजीशन सही हो रहा है या गलत हो रहा है, बताओ इसे। So yeah,
it was a pleasure. Thank you, Anupama and Kirti, for giving me this platform. That's the whole purpose. I want teachers like this, and I want to bring this knowledge into limelight, that what's the real yoga and what's the purpose, and not these yoga classes, not these yoga mats and yoga pants and doing all these banglas and everything. So
Yeah.
it's a different aspect, and rather what's written in yogic text, it's a individual practice. You have to practice it all alone. It's not to be demonstrated ever. What they say, it's not to be demonstrated ever. But for the betterment of humanity, we have to come forward, and to teach others, we have to demonstrate this thing. So that was the purpose.
Can we start the practice by reading the book, or it has to be done under a practitioner only?
See, that's what I said. You can start it with the book, but you need to be aware. And for raising your awareness, you have to be in that posture for a long time. You have need to hold that posture. As long as you hold that posture, your awareness will be there, and you will be aware. You will get to know that your posture is correct or not. You have to study yourself in that posture. Remain in posture, and then study where your head is, how your head is positioned, how your feet are positioned. Are your knee locked or not? Are they bending? Are you waving to one side or another? Are you putting weight on one side or another? So for that, you have to be in posture for a long time, and focus also on your breath. Your breath should be normal. It should not be very fast, or it should not be distressed. So everything is being still in the posture, and that's all. You need to be aligned and sit still in posture.
So yeah, we'll just wrap the session here. Once again, thank you, Dr. Adarsh, thank you, Dr. Kirti, and thank you everyone, our audience who have actually stayed with us.
So thank you everyone.
Best wishes to you. Good going, Kirti and Anupama. Keep doing.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
एक नदी से